Welcome everybody. I know this year's been a struggle as far as finding inventory to do houses. And now all of a sudden there's inventory. Not only is there inventory, there's interesting inventory. The house we're at today, we're at Donaway. Pretty cool. We'll go from there. Anyway, welcome folks. Once again, I'm your host, Alister, the Modern Modernist. And as I said before, today we are in Donaway here in Sacramento. This house has been on the market 3-4 days. Listing agent, Paloma Begin. We've done a couple of her listings before. Once again, thank you, Paloma. I really, really do appreciate when agents let me do this. And this is an exciting one. Is it mid-mod? Nope. Is it full-blown Art Deco? No. Is it relatively new? Yeah, built in 2010. So why did we pick it? I'll tell you why we picked it. It is someone's interpretation. They clearly have a fan. They love Art Deco, but they also like mid-mod. And that's why I picked this house, because it's a little bit of everything. And they're also clearly massive, massive fans of Frank Lloyd Wright during the era when he was doing his Plains homes. So Plains, those little single stories back. So I don't know. There's some elements. We'll get into it because there's this one element in this house and it's dead center as soon as you walk in and you look up. You can't miss. There's a clear nod to Frank. That's for sure. So let's get started, see what we got. All right. We're gonna walk across this room, and this is gonna be, I kid you not, this is the coolest hood over a stovetop I have ever seen. Right? Yeah, gets better. Thoughts in the comments. I think it's brilliant. It is something else. And then we'll get where that is. So look, you ready? That's your front door, okay? We're gonna go look at the outside of this house, because like I said, it's a nod to Art Deco. Even though this house was built brand new, 2010, I believe. And we're gonna go, so if you see, so clearly classic lines, Art Deco, curved. Then you come back around, you've got circular windows. Now, this is kind of like a hard square on that corner. Art Deco typically, traditionally, a lot of rounded corners. Another thing, very mid-century, is these, look at a lot of these hanging chains. And they go right to the ground. There's two in the front, there's another one at the back of the property. Usually have little rain buckets on them. More mid-century than Art Deco. So that's why I said this house is, it's a little bit of everything. Now the other thing you cannot ignore on this house, you probably won't be able to see with the camera, I'll pick it up, but this is plaster. It is polished within, I don't know, millimeters of its life. It looks like a marble effect, but it's, I don't know if how it shows. But not only is it done on these walls in the entrance when you walk in, so there's the front door, by the way, and then as we turn, there's the kitchen. There's that hood, right? And then as you come in the front door, so kitchen's on my right, there's your dining room, right? Which I love, nice formal dining room. The listing agent Paloma warned me about light switches in this house and finding lights. I have found every single light switch, except I can't turn that chandelier on. No idea. I've tried everything. But oh well, losses. Ready for this? Look at that fireplace. Right across from the kitchen. So, there's the kitchen. Now, this fireplace, again, is the same finish as that wall on the front door. It is unreal how it's done. Now, this is gas. It's not wood. Now, because again, I mean, I'm more about aesthetics and I hate stuff, even though you have things that are, you need them for it to function, right? But I love it when people hide the function. So see this? Gas fireplaces, they'll have a key, switch, something that turns them on. So you come around the corner, there's your wet bar, hidden around the corner. And that's just to get into the vent for the fireplace. But it's all hidden. I don't see it, which I like. I think that's absolutely some thought put into it. And because there's, look at that fireplace. Unbelievable. Trying not to show upstairs. My favorite part of this house is to get upstairs. There's like an office, and oh, it's a treat. It really is. So again, see, there's a little nod to Art Deco. There's sort of a butler's pantry. So you've got, this is off the kitchen. Another nod to mid-mod, right? Mail slot into the house. So the neighbors don't have to know you went on vacation. This kitchen is different. We'll get into it. There's kind of a vegetable washing station down at the end. Then you've got the main sink. Okay, we've got this absolutely wicked hood and Viking 6-burner griddle in the middle. My favorite. This is a good kitchen, folks. And those that know me know I love to hold dinner parties. So we've got oven, microwave, double stacked. Again, very mid-mod. But like I said, the style of the house is a nod to Art Deco. But there's all these like Frank Lloyd Wright and mid-mod here in Sacramento, sort of, you know, String Brother type nods here and there. So like the listing agent, Paloma, she told me, she goes, I don't know if you'd be interested. I was interested. This house is brilliant. It's superb. I'm excited. So this, I was opening up dishes, drawers here earlier. So cook your food. I'm assuming it's a warming station. I don't know if it can be turned either way, if it's hot or cold, or if it is, but it looks, yeah. I don't know, cook dinner and then you're having a dinner party, put stuff down there. So we walked through that whole kitchen, right? There's a refrigerator. Yeah, I thought it was kind of strange. Anyway, there's a butler pantry. Let's do the walk. You ready? So you can see where I'm going. So there's my kitchen behind me, right? There's that round window in front of me. So there's a little small kind of dry goods little area there. These are cupboards. So here, this is what seems kind of odd. So then you come up the kitchen. I know I'm going all discombobulated. Up the kitchen, turn left. Okay. In here, it's kind of a butler's pantry because there is an oven. There's your refrigerator back here, a little different. I would put another refrigerator where that cupboard was that I just opened. I would take that out and put a fridge in there. So you have extra storage space. And then there's pot pan rack, which I like. It's all out of the way. There's another sink in here. I love these sinks. I like these raised bowl sinks. I like the look. And in this house it goes. And then this counter matches the polish of the wall and the fireplace. So it all ties in. It's beautifully, beautifully done. Then we got the soup pantry behind us, the light clipped on, so that's good. So there's another fridge in here. It's good, more storage. You got all these bins. I would turn this into wine racks. There is a wine rack down the end. You got more storage under here, which you could do wine bins, bottles, just stack them up on top of each other. So, you know, a hell of a wine collection. Stone floor. See that? So this is actually pretty chilly back here. It's perfect for wine storage. It's absolutely superb. So I kind of like it. You could definitely, yeah, if you're into wine, a place to start. So anyway, let's go kitchen. I spent a lot of time over here. I actually got to be in a rush today, unfortunately, because there's someone coming in for a tour after me, and I don't want to be videoing when they show up. So, living room. So there's the front door. See that? And there's your living room. Look at this. You know what I like about this living room? There's no TV. I'm not a big fan of TVs. So you could put one, I guess, where that mirror is if you so desire. Love the chandeliers. The chandeliers throughout this whole property, and they're just amazing. Very eclectic. And I love that one. Look at that ceiling. Superb. There is a bedroom down here, and there's also a bathroom. So this is full bath. Seeing this a lot lately. More of these Japanese-esque toilets where it kind of lifts up, and another fantastic chandelier. Got this bedroom. I do like this bedroom. So there's a guest quarters essentially downstairs. There is a closet, which is nice. All right, this I don't see. Now, as many of you know, if you know me personally, you know, I grew up in England as a kid, and I've never seen this in an American home. So where you have your heating element for the house, you'll have shelves. You put towels in there. And in England, you always call that the airing cupboard. Very common phrase. In America, never even heard of the phrase. Never even been in a house with one. And look at these handles, by the way. Look at these. These are kind of cool. I like those. They sit flat. You just keep fingering them, pull out. So, see, there's some shelving in there. There's heat's on. So this cupboard's like really, really warm. So when we were a kid, you know, the towels would be in the airing cupboard. In the winter, the heat's on. So when you get out of the shower, the towel's nice and toasty warm. I don't know, here in America, you just see people with a heated towel rack in the bathroom. Well, just do an airing cupboard and the whole house gets heated towels. Everybody gets a warm towel. I don't know, it's nice. It was just like very nostalgic for me to see that. All right, ready? Let's get this upstairs. We're gonna walk upstairs, but I'm gonna show you something. See that? But look at that. That is upstairs. We're gonna go there next, I promise. But look at all that wood. That is an office. So cool. This is a brilliant house. It really and truly is. It's just funny to be the age. I was like, oh, so you don't like this one. I don't know if it's for the channel. This is absolutely for the channel. Look at this. So this house was built in 2010. Clearly budget wasn't an option. It was just build it. This isn't cheap. This is pretty cool. It's all wood. All wood. And it's not that wood is expensive per se. Paying someone to use wood, cut it, measure it, trim it, paint it, polish it, finish it, it's all in the labor. Look at that. That is just the coolest office. And then, very mid-century, plug in the floor. I love this house. I'd find an excuse to work from home every day. Look at this. It's and then there's the styling of this. This actually reminds me, another car reference, kind of the old 1950s Ford Edsels. Looks like the grill on one of those. But it looks really cool. I like it. So, and then here's the office again, outside. It's so Frank Lloyd Wright. It screams it. And then, see, look, there's downstairs. And I just love how this column for the stove, the hood, is just central. Very neat. So as we came up the stairs, they were behind me, as you can see, left. There's a bedroom up here. So, ton of closet space for a guest bedroom. And there's another one behind me. So, on these closets, I'm looking at them, very IKEA. Which again, Midmont, Bauhaus. I mean, I've talked about it before. IKEA is the largest retailer of Bauhaus furniture there is globally. So it's like these people, they're into design. They're into Art Deco, Midmont, mid-century, Bauhaus. Because it's all in one place, in one house, which I love. And then you come down, what's behind this door? Okay, laundry room. So, and there's a sink in here, which I like. I always like having a sink in the laundry room. I mean, you look outside. Again, see, there's these chains that kind of hang down. Very mid-century, not so much Art Deco, but you see that a lot in mid-mod stuff. Mid-mod, you see like little rain buckets. And so it makes, if one bucket fills, trips to the next. It makes really cool noises. This I like to see. Tankless water heater. And they put it on the second floor. Very good idea. Tankless water heaters are brilliant in single stories. The second they got to start going upper story, they're useless. So these guys have put it on this floor because this is where most of the hot water is being used. You got to wash and dry, and the primary's up here. Very smart idea to put it up here. And it's out of the way, it's hidden. Again, remember how I don't like to see stuff? How often am I going to take people in my laundry room? Never. And then this is really cool. So there is a couple of little balconies that this house has. We'll get into those. Now, primary is right in front of me. And I'm gonna do that, but via the bathroom. So primary door is, I'm gonna stop, I'm in the doorway for the primary bedroom. But there's this doorway there. So the primary bath, it's kind of like a Jack and Jill with the hallway with the guest bedroom across the way. A little strange, but that's the way it was done. And this, by the way, there's his and her sinks, which makes this bathroom huge. See, so we do have a bidet, got a shower, massive, massive shower. And there's actually a bench. See, on the other side of the shower, a little bit of storage. And then there's that window. And all these little details. I like this. Very Art Deco is that. Now, sink number one. Massive, massive mirrors. That light there, don't ask me how I found it, but I did. It took me a while to turn it on. Like I said, the only light I've struggled to turn on is that chandelier in the dining room. And then you got the glass blocks, which I love these in bathrooms. Brings in just a ton of natural light. And then we're gonna cross over. We do have a tub. I like this tub too. And it has like an infinity edge, so it drips over. And there's also a shower nozzle, and it is jet tub too, which is nice, kind of like a hot tub in your bathroom. And then across the way, there you go, her sink. And then there's a makeup counter stool, so definitely this would be the hers. The his is on the other side. Mirrors, it's just so cool. And there's actually a ton of ceiling fans in here too, so this will get a pretty steamy place if someone's taking a shower, you got a bath going. But anyway, very cool. Now there is another doorway. So this door takes us into the primary. It is a pocket door, which I like. Very, very cool. I love these wood finishes. It just screams like this. To me, it's very Strang, which I like to see. It's nice to see the Strang brothers and their materials just kind of being used. So again, and that's the primary. And I love the light fixtures. They're just so cool. And this is, I have a couple of pieces of mid-mod furniture that are my absolute favorites. The Wasili chair and pieces of furniture that came after it from its design are my absolute favorites. This lounger is one of them. Look at that. And then so this steel frame here, that was a Wasili chair, and this of course too, being kind of a cousin of it, all was inspired by that of the bicycle. So it's really cool to see. And like I said, this house, it was, yeah, it's Art Deco-esque, but it's just a nod to just that era of the end of Art Deco, and then it led into mid-mod, because Art Deco is what came before mid-mod. And then this is a really cool primary bedroom. I love it. So where's that doorway taking us? Well, let's go see. So, and another interesting fact about Art Deco. Art Deco is one of the first periods of design that also went into things, mechanical, machines. If you go on Google and just go and do Art Deco trains, there are some amazing steam and electric trains, passenger trains, especially New York to Chicago run, New York to Philly, New York to Boston. The trains that ran those routes during the Art Deco periods in the 20s, oh man, they're just beautiful pieces of design. And so that's when the Chrysler building was Art Deco. And so Google it. That's one of the things with Art Deco. It was the first time that architecture actually went into other objects. It even went into cars, a Chrysler Airflow, beautiful piece of design, very Art Deco. Out of Art Deco came Bakelite, very early plastics. So Art Deco is a pretty big inspirational piece of design in the era leading up and into then what became mid-mod. So very cool. So ready for this closet? Again, these folks clearly love IKEA, because all this closet system, all of this stuff, this is all IKEA. And I love it. I really do. And again, there's another deck. off the back of the primary. And it's beautiful outside. Birds are chirping. There's bamboo. Let's see if we can get out here. There we go. See, look at them. Look at this. That's the bedroom door we just came out of. Look at that. It's just so peaceful. And then again, see these chains, and then this is all bamboo. So it's just beautiful. Kind of like, I mean, you know, this neighborhood, the houses are, I won't call them on top of each other, but your neighbors are pretty close. But you'd never know with the trees. There's a shed. Down there, there is a garage as well, one car. So, like I said, I really, really like this house. There we go, locked. And that's just, I love having a closet with a full-length mirror. It is very cool. And then there's a plug like dead center of the mirror. But I like this. It's a very cool house. So, and this primary, it's just peaceful back here. It really and truly is. It's really, this house, this took some time to design. Be curious to know who the architect was. But it is absolutely beautifully done. It really and truly is. It's gorgeous. Yeah, we're gonna just, well, and then this was actually, these are really cool. So the couch I was sitting on in the beginning, look at that. There's two of them, there's a pair. If I was buying this house, I'd actually put that in a contract if they could stay, because they just make the room. I mean, they'd be not that hard to go find, but they're already here. Why buy them twice? I kind of like it. They really are cool. So this house is amazing. Folks, if you do want to come see this house, call me. I'll gladly give you a tour, and then we'll put in an offer, because it is brilliant. And I'll also be very jealous because it's fantastic. And then here's another feature. These little lights hanging. Now when you're downstairs looking up, you can't see that these are hanging on wires. They almost look like little stars just hanging in the night sky. And then there's a pair of skylights up here too, by the way. So this house has a ton of light pouring down into that central room. But yeah, this house is absolutely another favorite. So once again, the listing agent, Paloma Begin, thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it. Folks, I really do appreciate when you take the time to watch these videos. We're actually gonna have a lot more coming now because the market here is shifting. People are listing their homes. There are buyers. Interest rates are not as scary as they seem. People are borrowing money, which is good. It's back. So yeah, I think the buying season this year is definitely going to start earlier than was originally expected. So things are picking up, which is good. I like to see, because it also gives me inventory to create these videos too. So there we go. Anyway, folks, once again, my name's Alister, your host, The Modernist. Be good to each other, humans. Have a good day. Bye-bye.